Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Today I'm going to be sharing 10 tips for solo traveling. I am 25 and I have been to 41 countries, and majority of these countries I've traveled to solo. So I have learned a lot of lessons and I've had a lot of experiences over the years solo traveling, and sometimes it can be kind of daunting and even scary. So I thought it would be great for me to share what I've learned over the years with you if you are planning to start solo traveling, or even if you are already a solo traveler. These could be very helpful. Before we begin, I'd love if you give this video a big thumbs up, hit subscribe if you haven't already, give me a follow on TikTok and Instagram. I'm super active there every single day. I love connecting with y'all on those platforms, and I also want to add that I give travel consultations and clarity consultations, so I can help you book your trips, start traveling, if you want to move abroad, if you want to find a way to move abroad and make money and create your reality. That is what I'm here for. So check those out. Let me know if you have questions, and I'd love to hop on Zoom with you and flesh out your travel plans. But without further ado, let's get right into these tips because I have a lot of them. My first tip is to stay at a hostel even if it's for one night. The reason for this is that you'll arrive in this new city and you don't know anybody, you don't know the atmosphere, and this kind of eases your way into things. You can stay there for one night, meet some locals, meet some other travelers, and if you want to move to a hotel or an Airbnb for more privacy after that, you totally can, but at least you'll have people to meet up with and kind of gauge what the situation is like socially while there. My second tip is to pack lightly. If you are solo traveling, you're not gonna have people helping you with your luggage and bags. And trust me, as someone who backpacked Italy solo and overpacked, my back was broken by the end of that trip. So make sure you pack lightly. I'm gonna make more videos about how I pack soon, so subscribe so you don't miss those. And also I wanna share more about what outfits I pack. I think it's really great to pack things that match with each other, also that you can wear over and over again, and maybe change the accessories so that way it looks different, and really practical items, because you might be doing laundry in weird places, hang drying it, or even washing your clothes by hand. So you don't want to take things that will get damaged easily or super heavy. But there are so many hacks I have for packing, but it's so important that you're able to carry your stuff easily for a long amount of time, because sometimes you might be walking for a really long period of time and you don't have a place to put them down, and you're tired and you're anxious and you're hungry and whatever it is. Don't let your baggage weigh you down. My third tip is to make copies of all of your documents, take pictures of them, and send them to your email. The reason for this is that if your phone gets stolen, if your backpack and all your luggage gets stolen and you are stripped clean, you can find a computer somewhere and log into your email and have access to them. Also do this for your credit cards. You might need to book an emergency flight out of a country or something of this nature. It's really important to have access to these things in some sort of way. Definitely email everything to your email and make all these copies, because you don't know what's going to happen when you're alone, and you don't want to end up in a situation where you're without cash, cards, or ID. This leads into my next tip, is not to carry all of your cash in one place. Make sure you break it up, and if you can, don't carry too much cash at one time. If you can go to an ATM or take out money from your bank, it is much better to do that more regularly than to carry a huge lump sum of cash on you. I arrived in Madrid when I was moving to Spain to teach English, and I didn't have a lock. I was staying at a hostel. I just landed coming from Germany, and I went out to buy a lock from the store down the street. So I had all of my cash in my purse, my passport, and other important documents. It was raining and I got mugged by three men. And they didn't hurt me. Thankfully, they just took, I don't know how they did it, but they took the cash out of my wallet. They didn't even take my whole wallet. So thankfully, they just took cash, but they did take about $600, which was quite a bit for me, especially at the time, because I was moving there to teach English, fresh grad out of college. So this is why you don't carry all your cash in one place. And if you have a travel credit card, I talk about travel credit cards all the time. I use Chase SAPPHIRE Reserve. I love it. I've been using it for a few years now, and I have other videos I can link down below and in the screen about this card. Definitely get a travel credit card so you don't have to deal with foreign exchange fees and all of those things. My next tip is to download offline maps. This is essential if you are traveling to a place where you don't have good cell service, because you can get lost, and I've gotten lost. Actually, on my first solo trip when I was in London, I didn't have maps and I had to ask a stranger to help me find my hostel. If it wasn't for her, I would have been completely lost. Thank God she helped me. She actually told me to come stay with her because the hostel I booked was really bad. And I didn't, and then I ended up moving to a hotel, but that's a whole different story. Download offline maps, make sure you know your whereabouts and you have access to these wherever you go. And along with this, I would suggest you get a SIM card if your cell phone doesn't work in the country. SIM cards are super cheap to get these days, and they are so important, I think, because you need to be able to contact someone in case of an emergency. And I know it's fun and easy to not have a SIM card and to just kind of live in the moment, but in case there's an emergency, it's really vital to be able to contact someone, especially your parent or trusted friend or family member back home. My next tip is to use Couchsurfing. I always talk about using your network when you are traveling. I love connecting with mutual friends who have traveled to the place and know people there or who have family there. But if you don't have people who you know personally in the city that you're going to, you can always get on Couchsurfing and start messaging people there to meet. You don't have to stay with them, but it's always nice to know someone in the city and maybe get a coffee or dinner with them, so that way you can get a connection, get shown around by a local, which is always my favorite and I think the best way to travel, and also make a new friend in the place that you're in. This leads into my next tip, is to use social media. I am all over social media, as you guys can tell, and I meet so many people through social media who've actually become my really good friends. And when I travel to new cities and I don't know people, I actually connect with people, and I'm lucky because I do have a bit of a following, so it's easier for me to find people. Maybe you have a following, and even if you don't, you can find people through hashtags and let them know, send them a message that you're in town and you would love to meet up for a coffee or a meal or something like that. People are generally nice. That is the rule of thumb I like to use. So don't be afraid to reach out and meet new people. And my last tip is to stay alert and stay safe. Solo traveling is incredible, but it is so important to do it safely. If you're planning to go out on a pub crawl or have a night on the town, try and not drink too much. If you are gonna drink, alternate it with water, stick to beer. And also, if you're a girl, try and find another girl at your hostel or even just a friend that you make, so that way you can keep an eye on each other and make sure nothing happens, because people are generally good. However, people can also take advantage of you, and this goes for girls and guys. It's so important to be safe and alert and make sure that you don't get robbed or nothing else happens to you when you're out. I go out a lot when I travel. I have lots of videos on going out and meeting people. I even have a video about the best party cities in the world if you want to check it out. But party responsibly. I hope you found this video really helpful. Let me know if you solo travel or if you have in the past, or if you're planning to. Let me know and let's plan your solo trip together. I love planning trips and I love living vicariously through other people's travels when I'm not traveling. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, leave me a comment, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.